This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
It is Friday, the 12th of July, 2024. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. This is news to 6 a.m. on News Power Digital. Leader of the opposition, Kamala Prasad-Bisesa, says the behavior of some top office holders, including the Prime Minister, who acted like a VIP courier, is disgraceful and brings their offices into disrepute. Mrs. Prasad-Bisesa said yesterday the exchange of messages between the Prime Minister, former National Security Minister Stuart Young, and current National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines, and former Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith showed the hypocrisy of the Rowley government. Further, she said, the opposition will bring a motion of privilege against Hines for misleading the House of Representatives when the Parliament reopens in September. Last Saturday, the Express published WhatsApp messages between the Prime Minister and Griffith, as well as Young and Griffith, showing they made queries in the firearm users' licenses and blasting licenses, respectively, for Tobago businessman Alan Warner. Both Dr. Rowley and Minister Young denied they asked Griffith to fast-track any licenses for Warner, but did acknowledge queries were made. Prasad-Bisesa said yesterday the Prime Minister in particular has questions to answer for his conduct, which should be probed by the Integrity Commission. She says she has no confidence in the Commissioner of Police to probe the matter. Parliament's Joint Select Committee on National Security will inquire into issues at the Strategic Services Agency after the fifth session of Parliament begins in September. This has been confirmed. A decision has been officially taken for the SSA matter to be examined by the JSC. The committee chairman, Keith Scotland, was not available for queries yesterday. The SSA has been spotlighted since March when the National Security Council received information from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. An audit was launched and the SSA leadership was changed. Former Director of Services was terminated in May, and 28 others were also fired. On July 3rd, in the Parliament, the Prime Minister delivered a statement on some of the audit findings so far. The initial findings involve guns increasing from 24 in 2016 to 103 by 2021, including the procurement of high-grade military bolt-action rifles, ammunition purchases from 8,000 rounds in 2017 to 100,000 rounds in 2022. Also noted that 70,000 rounds of ammunition remain unaccounted for. Two officials from state-owned Paria Fuel Trading Company Limited, as well as the head of the Land Marine Construction Services, LMCS, Kazim Ali Sr., faced the San Fernando magistrate on July 10th, charged in connection with the 2022 deaths of four divers, including Ali's 36-year-old son, Kazim Ali Jr. San Fernando magistrate Alicia Chanka on July 10th held a virtual hearing at which OSHA's Inspector Brisbane laid criminal charges against Paria's General Manager Mustaq Mohammed and Operations Manager Colin Piper, plus Land and Marine Construction Services head Kazim Ali Sr. The charges were not read aloud owing to objections by the defendant's attorneys, but are expected to be read when the case resumes on September 11th. Shareholders of One Caribbean Media, OCM, parent company for the Trinidad Express newspaper, TV6, and I-95.5 FM, rejected the nomination of government-nominated board members at its annual general meeting held on July 11th, yesterday. The government-owned National Investment Fund, NIF, nominated executives Dale McLeod and Shaka Suberu to be directors on OCM's board. Reps for NIF called for a poll on shareholders' consensus on the appointments. After the poll, 23,997,642 votes went against McLeod's appointment, while 23,229,443 votes were for his appointment. A total of 28,684,368 votes went against Suberu's appointment. Other nominated members were Gregory Thompson, Grenville Phillips, who were elected to the board. A remote work policy for public servants is being developed. The Ministry of Public Admin is using PricewaterhouseCoopers Agency Services Limited to help deliver on the policy. It says this is a move, part of a broader effort to modernize the public service aimed at increasing efficiency while maintaining productivity. Yesterday, Thursday, the inaugural flight of Frontier Airlines to Trinidad and Tobago occurred. Headquartered in Denver, Colorado, Frontier Airlines is an ultra-low-fare carrier with a hub in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Its first flight commenced services to Port of Spain from Luis Munoz Marlin International Airport. The Trade and Industry Ministry explains the new route will provide greater connectivity, enables travelers the opportunity for more affordable entry into the U.S. to increased destinations. Approximately 20,000 people have been left homeless or in severely damaged buildings in Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines following the passage of Hurricane Beryl. Speaking during a media conference to launch the regional response for Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, hosted by the Grenada Information Service on July 11th, Grenada's Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell said 4,000 people have been left homeless after their homes were destroyed, while another 4,000 were living in severely damaged buildings. Finally, Kenya's President William Ruto has dismissed with immediate effect all his ministers and the Attorney General following the recent deadly protest that led to the withdrawal of an unpopular tax bill. The president said the move came after reflection, listening to Kenyans, after holistic praises by my cabinet. He said he will now consult widely to set up a broad-based government in that country. And that is news to 6 a.m. right here on News Power Digital. We love major news coming your way at 7 a.m. Good Friday morning to you.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
Yes, it's Friday, the 12th day of July. Thank you so much for joining us on the Power Breakfast Show on Power 102 Digital. 25 degrees with light rain at Piarco, thunder and heavy rain, and 27 at Crown Point in Tobago. And traffic-wise, it's a little heavy this morning. Just after Freeport, you'll get some traffic, some volume, and then from Charlieville towards the interchange, volume again. Maloney to Piarco and Piarco towards Yui, volume again. But that's it. Nothing really to tell you about. Good morning to you, Pablo. What's happening? Good morning to you, Wendell, Stephen.
Morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and good morning, listeners and viewers. My apologies for my nasality, or if that's a word, but this Sahara dust and whatever else is in the air is driving me crazy. I went deep into the countryside yesterday.
It's raining. It's pouring.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it is raining.
Yeah,
Actually, I woke up 4 o'clock this morning and got a wonderful soaking.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like walking in the rain, so it's no big deal.
Oh.
I walk in the rain. I'm walking. Sorry.
You can't do no worse than I'm doing now, so you might as well try to sing.
Yeah, no.
I can't really get no worse than this. The good thing about it, the plants are being wet.
Yeah, boy.
And they're growing. I planted some ginger plants about a month ago, and they are really sprouting up now.
Yeah, it is rain. Yeah, I planted some plants.
Just take the ginger and treating it.
That's it. Okay. Nothing else.
That's it.
And you know what's good? You know what's good for plants? You see when you boil rice and you strain the rice, you use that rice water, let it cool down to room temperature and put that in your plants. Amazing.
You know what's also really good for your plants, especially your orchids? Banana peel.
Banana peel for anything. You can put that
with magnesium and potassium.
Yeah. If you take some soil, put the rice water in it, put some banana in it, you cut it up and you put it, you mix it up. Even eggshells, and you crush that.
You know what's good for old plants?
Zena?
Anything water. Ask Zena.
anything that waters.
Any water at all.
Yeah, those three things are amazing for plants. You know, so, and would you believe honey and cinnamon is really good? Cinnamon would help with the
It's the real rain going now.
It rained that heavily here.
Well, it stopped in Arima now, but it was raining a while ago. They're getting these spurts now. Hard rain and then it stopped. Okay. I don't know if it's like it's Wendell falling from the sky.
I'm not saying a word. Let's see who sent us hellos first thing this morning via YouTube and Facebook. Good morning to you, DJ Ray out in Delaware. Wendy and James, a slick money grip. Maria Celia, Beefy Smith in a rainy Tobago. Beefy, you know how long you're supposed to call us out here. Wayne Bennett in Covington, Georgia. John Cato, Brenda Isaac. Ray out in West Palm Beach, Florida. Anthony Tinto in Ontario, Canada. Carol Guevara in Chicagonas. Miss Ingrid in Tucson, Arizona. Carl M. Jack. Diane, how do you pronounce that? Lametri? Okay, Lametri. Good morning to you.
Lamet.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Lamet.
Lamet. All right. There you go. Michael Robinson in Yokohama, Japan. Biznath Prasad, Rena Buru Jennings, Wayne Ramsey, CJ in New York, David Wares, who's somewhere in the country. And good morning, Mrs. Wares. Elton Abraham, welcome. Good morning to you. Marsha Thomas, welcome and good morning to you. Cohen Duke, Alistair Hart, look at messages. Evans David, Randy Kelly, Keith Possessor, Alicia Edwards, Marsha Thomas, Subhash Mangal, good morning to you. That's a lot of messages via Facebook and YouTube. Oh my God.
A lot of new names too, eh?
Yeah. What's up? You're heavy as well. GNC Auto Security, Oliver, Michael out in London. We have Big E out in Virginia. We have David Nelson. We have Val. Morning, Val. Captain Ron, where are you in the world? Santa Rosa, California. All right. Vincent in Birmingham, UK. And of course, I have Chris Toussaint, our correspondent in Washington, D.C. Good morning to you.
Wow. Correspondent in Washington, D.C., what are your latest thoughts on your current president vying for president again?
Wait, put a pause there.
You have that clip?
Wait.
Can we play it?
Wait now. Go ahead of you this morning. Wait now.
No, I wasn't sure if we could play it, you know.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there. I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there. I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
I think the other one was
I hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. He's going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it. Anyway, Mr. President.
I'm better.
You are a hell of a lot better.
Thank you so much, Mr. President.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
This is not, I just feel so sorry for that man.
Yeah, but did he say that Kamala Harris is
Vice President Trump? That's what he called her.
No, but he's not qualified for the job.
He also said she's not qualified.
Yeah. I think he was trying to correct the mistake he made when he said Trump, who's not qualified for the job. I don't think he was really.
Wendell. Houston, we have a problem.
No, we have a big problem.
Deny, they could obfuscate, they could spin. He is not in full control.
Terrence Brown, this is not about under stress. This is a man who is not. He does not have the full grasp of his faculties at all times.
Clearly.
And that's called.
No, Wendell, maybe he was tired then too.
No, but I said it the other day, and I know a lot of you all didn't agree with it because it's not a medical opinion. But that is the early signs of dementia. I'm sorry, that's what it is.
I'm not willing to make a diagnosis unless something ain't right.
That is what it is.
Something ain't right. But at least with the Zelensky, he realized it was wrong and corrected it.
Yeah, but it's a good thing Zelensky is the type of man who could take those kind of mistakes easily, because that's a serious insult to Zelensky, knowing fully well what he's going through. You know?
They're spinning, they're trying, they're bolstering, they're propping up, but and November 5th is far.
Yeah.
You must know what that you're gonna get before that.
Yeah.
And I think he has 2 more debates to do. If I'm not mistaken, I think he has 2 more debates to do.
And he's going to engage the media in one-on-one things. No, that's not advisable at this time.
Did you see the interview with George Stephanopoulos?
No.
It didn't help.
I just saw some.
No, President Biden, and they said it last night too. He needs to be the one to say, I recognize that this is a problem now. Let me step aside.
That is not going to happen.
Well, boy.
Right? That is not going. Terrence Brown, you're not running the US and the world. President Biden say he has to run the world. You're not running the world. You could do half full grasp of your faculty if you want.
True. We could make those errors here, but not at that level. At that level, it's and some leaders and we even have leaders here need to recognize that it's time to go. Mrs. Prasad needs to realize that too. And Dr. Rowley to a lesser extent. It's time to go. And some of the others need to just not even be offering themselves for leadership.
Well,
we have people who lead as a party right now. They shouldn't be facing any kind of electorate at all. I know people don't like to hear it, but I say it as it is.
Bad this morning. Bad this morning.
I say it as it is, man. Joe Biden, the word, if the person who was challenging Joe Biden was not Donald Trump, then I would say I might not have been so worried about it. But the fact of the matter
if the possibility that Donald Trump could not get back into office, and I say give him a blood, but the stakes are too high. Yeah. Or they really want to risk Donald Trump getting back into office.
Yeah, that is the risk. Donald Trump getting back into office. That is the risk.
That is frightening. Well, I have some time. The chorus is building. We shall see. They might say, they might every man your business, stand on every business. It will affect
everybody
us.
Business, and who
it will affect
America?
Us.
Is everybody business,
It will affect us.
Yeah.
Okay. The trying to select, well, I see it make papers. I didn't think it would make papers. The GSC National Security is going to be inquiring into the SSA when Parliament resumes in September.
Well, you must have loads of questions built up there.
Everybody has questions. It was triggered by a suggestion, a recommendation by Minister of Tourism, Wendell, who's part of the committee, who said that based on the utterances, the statement of the Prime Minister, that we should find out how stable the entity is at this time.
Very good of Wendell.
Well, there were differing views because there was a perspective that the inquiry is not yet over, the audit by retired Brigadier General Anthony Philip Spencer, and concerns about a public inquiry having some sort of effect on the ongoing inquiry, because in the Prime Minister said the inquiry is not finished. You understand? But there was a vote, and the vote was to go ahead with the inquiry within specifically circumscribed parameters.
Yeah.
So we shall see.
Because the easiest thing for politicians to say now these days is the inquiry is ongoing, right? Those words are very easy to roll off one's tongue now. The inquiry is ongoing.
I was really surprised to read this news, given the length of time this issue has been in the public domain. And that's the issue related to the tragic deaths of the 4 divers on the 25th of February, 2022. And now 2 officials, some state-owned Paria, and the head of LMCS are facing charges.
Oh? Okay.
The head of Land and Marine Construction Services, that's LMCS, Kazim Ali Sr., and also Paria officials, let me get it right, Paria's General Manager Mustaq Mohammed and Operation Manager Colin Piper. The charges were brought against them by OSHA
Oh,
for breaching safety, or I'm paraphrasing here, something like that, something along those lines.
is that the first time OSHA's brought charges against anyone?
I don't think so, but this is the most major, because I think the Wassa thing is also under investigation, where the man died in the trench which collapsed on him, unfortunately. And questions about the safety protocols are also being applied where that is concerned. But I don't think any charges have been laid there yet. But this is a quite interesting development. Charges were not read aloud due to objections by the defendant's attorneys, but are expected to be read when the case resumes on September 11th. OSHA's Inspector Brisbane laid criminal charges against the 3 people. Because you remember the divers, Christopher Budram made it out alive. He's the only survivor. Kazim Ali Jr., Rishi Nagasa, Faisal Kurban, and Yusuf Henry all died in the 30-inch pipe. Interestingly enough, one of the people charged is the father of one of the victims.
Yes, the owner of the company.
Yeah. So
that's interesting. Yes.
The report coming out of the inquiry, the public inquiry, had recommended that corporate manslaughter charges be brought against Paria and LMCS. Interesting.
Our grandchildren will be hearing about that.
It'll be in public safety books. It'll be in books. It'll be in books as a case study in corporate safety. At the end of the day. Another interesting development yesterday, which I'm not surprised by, but I'm surprised by in some ways. The shareholders of One Caribbean Media's OCM, which is the parent media company, huge media conglomerate, Trinidad Express, CCN TV6, I-95, and about 6 other radio stations, voted against the appointment of 2 government-nominated board members, including Dale McLeod, well-known insurance person Dale McLeod, and Shaka Suberu,
who's my very good friend.
Shaka.
His father's Keith Suberu, right?
Yes, that's his dad. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And the members at the annual general meeting yesterday voted against the government nominees, so they didn't get appointed to the board.
Because earlier in the day, I heard Ingrid Lashley, former head of TTMF, paying glowing tribute to them and saying she saw nothing wrong with their character and they were upstanding citizens and they were.
Well, I'm wondering, because Senator Wade Mark brought a motion in the adjournment. Is it last week? Could be last week sometime. In opposition to the appointments, saying that because they're government board members, that it may have an impact on the freedom of the press in the context of One Caribbean Media, because it is a news-driven organization, but a media organization with huge news assets, including the Trinidad Express, TV6, I-95, which are all news-driven entities.
Yeah.
So he brought that, but
I don't see 2 board members out of several having that kind of influence and effect.
Well, the thing about it is that because of the construct of the shares and the NIF shares in OCM coming out of the CLICO thing,
right,
where the government has a certain amount of shares, they have 2 legal spots which they haven't optioned before.
Exactly.
So the government not doing anything wrong by finally nominating people to the board.
Yes.
They just never optioned it before.
Yes.
So one question was, why now? Well, OCM posted losses. So there was concern about the I guess, the financial decisions which led to the losses being posted. You
Right.
understand?
Right.
But of course, there has been speculation, I using the word very, very diplomatically, that the two persons were PNM representatives, or
Well, I don't know.
closely linked to the PNM. But that is the assertion. I'm not saying it's so.
Right.
I'm saying
Okay.
it's a concern raised. Okay.
Well, I mean, the chances of a government appointing anybody anyway now, that's the assumption people will make. And nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with being a PNM person?
I am not saying anything is right or wrong.
No, I'm not
that
saying
has been the concern expressed.
right. So I'm not directing that question to you per se, right? But I don't know what's wrong with me. I know Dale McLeod and I know Shaka Subero very well.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't see them having that they're not rabid politicians. They're not into the politics.
But even if they were, Wendell, let's take the worst case scenario and say that, and I'm not saying it, we're saying for conversation's sake, they were. I work for OCM already, TV6.
Yeah.
Right? And I know the management of TV6 is fiercely independent.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right.
Where the editorial direction, I mean, people could say depending on what they publish, people will say they're for or against the government.
Yeah.
Depending, normal thing with the media. But I also don't see two government-appointed board members, which is a legal move by the government. You understand? Having a significant impact to say it will curtail the freedom of of expression or the freedom of the press, where OCM's news arms and editorial slant is concerned.
Yeah. Paul Prudent, I see you raising that issue. And that wasn't raised as an issue at all. Because he does work at DGCEL. But I don't know that.
Well, no, actually, Wendell, it was. It
Huh?
was raised as an issue. He's right. Because OCM also has acquired, is it Green Dot, I think it is?
Okay.
Some time ago. I think OCM acquired Green Dot some time ago, yeah. And you gotta keep up with your corporate news. And Digicel is a competitor.
How long may I hear the word Green Dot? That was the first provider I used for internet.
Yes,
because they were right around the corner from me.
I think OCM may have acquired Green Dot some time ago.
Okay, well, all right.
Yeah,
that had been raised as a concern because there was a conflict of this concern.
So I concur. I can see that being a problem.
Yeah, so that was also a concern. But they were rejected by a voter, so I guess the government will have to nominate 2 more people now. But Minister Mbang backing down.
No.
He's not going to back down.
Yeah.
All the rejected nominees.
Shaka was also recently appointed to the TTT board. So I know he could not have held both positions. That I know for sure. But he is not hard into the hardcore politics like people might want to make him.
I don't know him that well, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know him.
Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago to Frontier Airlines.
Yeah. Low-cost carrier made its inaugural flight yesterday.
I know they go through Puerto Rico. Is Puerto Rico the hub? Or
Puerto
from Colorado? But they go through Puerto Rico. Where do they travel to? Miami and New York?
Yeah.
I've seen those planes in Florida already.
Yeah.
So
you can go to Puerto Rico and go to the US with a connecting flight.
You can do that now?
Sorry?
But if they say they go through Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be. How long is the flight from Port of Spain to? Well, I mean Port of Spain now. Piaco to
I think an hour 45.
And then Puerto Rico to the States.
To wherever, yeah.
That sounds like a plan, boy. Paul, you can look at that for New Jersey.
New Jersey is booked already.
It's booked. Look at you.
You see how I squeeze that out there, Steve?
Boy, you squeezed that like a bad gripe.
New Jersey is booked already.
Let's say good morning, good night to a few people online. Joyce and Dial.
I don't phone lines.
Yeah, Terrence Brown, good morning. Edward Alion. Samantha Rochard. Morning, Sam.
Good morning, Sam.
Yeah. Hanif Daniel, Una Antoine, Trini B, Angela Collier Lewis, Stevie Knight. That's my very, very good friend out in Toronto. So good morning,
Good
Steve.
morning,
What's
Leonard
happening?
Tuesday. What a wonderful conversation with yesterday.
I have to get his book, you know.
Who?
That is so cool.
Lennox to say.
Oh,
Good morning to you, Stevie.
I'm going to try to read the next story without sounding sarcastic and or
Oh, that will never happen.
deprecating. So let me compose
Hold
myself.
on. Let's see. Wendell, you want to throw a little wager on this?
Let me read it as neutrally.
Hold on, Paul. You relax a 5. I'm trying to get some doubles out of Wendell here. Wendell, you think you'll be able to do it?
Oh no, Paul, you don't. I pull up on Paul yesterday or day before. When did I pull up on you, Paul? Day before. Wolfing down some doubles while he driving.
Wolfing down 8 doubles.
You probably had 10 on the passenger
I
seat.
can't. You change cars so frequently. I can't keep up with you.
Who, me? I drive in one vehicle for the longest while now. 4 years.
Hold on. Gentlemen, let's introduce royalty to the program.
Youth man. Where did you see
Came
father?
out of the-
Oh, youth man. Okay. Hi. Good morning. Good morning, guys. And good
What's going
morning
on, dog?
You
I
dig?
realized it was me you're talking to. Good morning to guys, and good morning to our listeners and viewers wherever you are.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to read this story while trying not to be snarky or deprecating or
Cannot do it. Cannot do it.
sarcastic in any way. Okay, so
You
here
can't,
goes.
you can't start off by saying that because we're going to read that into it.
I
Here
already
goes.
have to out some
Let me
doubles.
try
Here we
it.
go.
Let me
Drum roll.
do my news voice. A remote work policy for public servants is being developed. The Ministry of Public Administration is using PricewaterhouseCoopers Advisory Services Limited to help deliver on this policy. It says the move is part of a broader effort to modernize the public service, aiming for greater efficiency while maintaining productivity. How did I do?
But you read that the other day.
We read it last year and year before that. We read it last year before, during COVID, and before that. That's why it sounds familiar. So I have to compose myself to read it again.
So that's supposed to come out when in September.
What are you asking me?
You
I
just
think
read.
something just pull out a file and say it's time to read to send this out again.
Oh, please.
Remember Jennifer British Primus, the former Minister of Labour,
Yes.
and the hybrid work and this and that, and the Prime Minister said, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't know what you're talking about. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay.
She left the ministry not too long after.
The Prime Minister basically said, I don't know what you're talking about here.
But last year, sometime they said a work policy would be
Yes, Richard.
in place by this September.
Yes, Richard.
And we were like, why does it take a whole year to work out a work policy?
No, they hire
Work policy.
Right, now PricewaterhouseCoopers get a big work.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, they are the type of agency that can do stuff like that.
I ain't saying nothing wrong with that. Just to
So
get a
what
big
do,
work.
what we have a whole ministry of public admin with people
But that
there
doesn't
to
mean
do that.
they have the training and the specialty to
The kind of
create a
skill
person.
set, yeah.
Oh, please.
That's normal for ministries when there's to hire professionals in the like HR companies to recruit and PricewaterhouseCoopers to come up with a strategy, and that's a normal thing in ministries. Come on.
So tell us how to do what the Power Breakfast doing for the last how much ever years?
Point.
Oh, please.
That's why I said when the storm advisory for Burrell was sent out by the Met Services, and then subsequently the Education Minister sent out a communique that school children would have the day off on the Monday. Remember that? I said, but these children went online a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Exactly.
Why
Same
didn't
thing
they just say tomorrow online for school? Why didn't they just keep some hybrid elements in place all the time? So switching in
Yes.
emergency situations would have been a no-brainer.
Yes.
You're not reinventing the wheel.
You don't stop, you know. It was Friday.
Well, I mean, I get you and I agree that you can switch to online, but I don't know if bad weather is one of those. Because you're not supposed to be on computer keyboards
so
doing
the better option is no school at all?
It's one day. So I'm
That's
not
not the point. The point is
Well-
it shouldn't have to be.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, for bad weather, if you're closing schools, I don't know that going online is a suitable, safe option.
Why?
They're online anyway, doing anything on the internet.
If the systems in place and had been continued.
No, I'm talking about
and
bad
developed.
weather. Like when you have lightning and thunder, for example, you're not supposed to be on keyboards and on the internet.
Oh, you mean in that aspect?
Oh, well,
From
then,
a safety point of view, that's what I'm talking about.
well, then
Mhm.
I
And
better
more
go
than
and
Right.
trying to stay offline, them stay offline the whole day Monday.
So it doesn't matter. It's not the state mandating you to be online. So, and there are safety concerns from bad weather and being on electronic systems.
Okay, point taken. Point taken.
So I'm just saying bad weather is maybe a bad example, but there are other times when maybe you have some other thing going on that you could switch to online.
Mhm.
The point is, we missed the boat.
Long time. Well, we ain't completely missed it. The boat is just
The numbers are, we should
It's
open the
passing
phones.
very slowly.
We should open the phones.
we got calls already, so let's grab them. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Deary. How you going?
Fine, thanks. Good morning, Dr. Paul. Good morning,
Good
Wendell.
morning, my dear. How are you
Morning,
this
morning,
morning?
Mr. Abdi.
Good morning.
Good weather. Pouring rain earlier on, eh? Really, really nice.
Zena weather.
Oh, boy.
So, Paul, on that part of the remote teaching at school, remember, since they closed off remote teaching, teachers are no longer doing that, eh? Don't care what. They are no longer doing it. So that's part of it. So you can't say because we didn't have school Monday, they should have done it remote. That is not on his cards anymore. So that is not a part of their collective agreement.
Mhm.
And because of the weather as well, as Richard rightfully said, because some areas might be worse off than others with the weather, with the lightning and thunder and all of that, things happen. So, what my point is this morning, the two persons who were elected to the board, I when I heard Wade Mark say that you expressed the right things in favor of the government and things, I always doubted that because you always say crazy things sometimes. So I was kind of disappointed that the two persons who they wanted to put on the board were not given that opportunity, because I think Mr. McLeod especially, with all his vast experience, I thought he would have brought some new life to it, So I find, the shareholders, maybe, is it Peter Fuller who was part of that?
Yes. All of a sudden he resurfaced.
It's a minority shareholder, but I am not a fan of government officials being on any media house board anywhere. I don't like government officials on independent media broadcasting boards. I don't think it's a healthy mix. You already have a state broadcaster in terms of the Trinidad and Tobago television and what they're doing. And I think independent media should be vigilant. I think they should be vigilant.
But I don't need two persons out of how many, two persons are ready to weigh in of the rest of the persons there.
But you can't see that on the board.
And then and I was happy to see a new airline come to give Caribbean Airlines some good competition, because the cost of their tickets the cost to go anywhere is are too expensive.
Yeah, Caribbean Airlines prices are very high.
And when I saw Frontier, when the man talking last night, he said New Jersey, and I say, wow, Paul going on Frontier tomorrow. He's going to book a flight to Frontier.
Well, you feel as when you go to New Jersey.
Yeah, but Miss Davide, I think Frontier is like JetBlue. There's like a maxi in the sky, Paul and flying and them kind of thing.
I do JetBlue.
He used to do JetBlue all the time.
I love JetBlue.
But something, they start off hot and sweaty, and then you didn't hear nothing about them again,
To me, you get all the snacks you want, and you buy a sandwich and you pay $2,000 less.
So, I mean, if I was to go, I might go there just to try it out, but I don't feel it will be sustainable, because just like JetBlue, that's how JetBlue is now. It ain't so popular anymore.
Let me tell you, JetBlue flight's full. What's wrong with you?
You're wrong. JetBlue flight's
You stay right there. Yes, it is.
But I'm happy because private airlines, you have to reduce the price of your ticket.
And they have to stop giving you noodles and chicken. My goodness.
So I won't like that either. But that pity, Frontier is American Airlines, an American company based. They can't go to the Caribbean. That's the only thing I'm sorry about. So we stuck with Caribbean Airlines to go to the Caribbean Airlines.
There are other Caribbean airlines. There are other Caribbean airlines, not Caribbean Airlines, that do not come here.
Yeah.
You know.
So you all have a wonderful weekend, Richard.
You too.
Have a good morning. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Of course, it'll be a fantastic weekend because theater's on this weekend. On Sunday at Napa with Love is a Walk. And so it's going to be a spectacular weekend. Of course, you want to be de-stressed and want to fill your weekend with at least your Sunday with laughter. So, of course, the Napa box office opens from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily, and tickets available at all our usual outlets as well as online. You can check RSRR Productions.
That was the show again?
For social media. Love is a Walk. Check K-Squared Fashions in West Mall, East Gates, or Brentwood Mall in Chagonas. They have tickets. Jamili Rawi in Chinapuna. Electronics in Arima was replenished with general tickets that they had sold out. I think Chagonas had sold out their reserve, but I think they have gotten back some more tickets so you can check them again. And, of course, Sharpler Auto Services and Tony's Florence in Val Park Shopping Plaza.
Yeah.
But didn't the state get the shareholding in OCM through Republic, through Clico?
Yeah. Yes.
So to me, those are things they need to divest.
They are legitimate spaces on the board.
Yeah. So I think but I think those are things the state need to divest. They shouldn't be involved in that, in my opinion.
Today is the 12th. Didn't Kizar Jackson tell us that she's going to name her whole slate on the 11th and all that?
Was it the 11th or the 12th?
The 11th.
That is correct, Paul.
I think you have somebody in the line because of those tubes.
Morning,
I think somebody on the phone, right?
She's going to divulge all the information on the 11th, I remember.
It's me, stupid.
I
think they call us Stoops.
Attention.
Anyway, tonight, let me do a little free ad for the Port of Spain Corporation. They're having their City Cup final on tonight at Mandela Park in Newtown, in Woodbrook there. Football 6 and 7. Third place players and the finals tonight. Clint Batiste, I'll pass in and take a little line with you all.
Who's having that one now?
Port of Spain Corporation, the football City Cup final.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Morning, caller.
It's normally very well attended.
Steve Khan, Wendell.
Yeah, we heard that Stoops, Mr. Patrick.
Yeah, Mr. Patrick, good morning.
Yeah, Ragoobarsingh.
Yeah.
Big mall in Arima, boys.
If what?
You put up a big mall in Arima?
You know how long the signage there, Mr. Patrick, for that mall? Remember? Is that by Royal Bank you're talking about?
In the back of Royal Bank there.
Yeah. And there was signage up on that board for since before COVID. But I see
and Royal Bank is Rattans now or something?
No. No. Not where Royal Bank used to be, where Royal Bank is now.
Oh.
So the back of Royal Bank, they were planning to build a mall there, but apparently they've begun the work.
Oh, yes. All right. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. But they used to have big signage there, that mall coming, blah, blah, blah. But that's been there for years. No, and the strange thing about it, that sign has been pristine, Wendell.
Mm-hmm.
Pristine. It looked like it not put up, even though it's there for years. And I was telling somebody, you don't find that sign real keep up. It looks as if it's just put up and it's been there for years. As they start to build Wendell, all of a sudden the sign ragged and falling down.
Maybe I don't know. I can't say that.
What I'm like a truck pass and rip it. I don't know.
All right, let's take one more call before we go to headlines. Good morning. Hello. All right, not there. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. I ain't do this thing so long, I forget how it is go, yes? Good morning. You know, I had an alarm moment there just now. Richard, what was that character you played with the Tiantek advertisements from long time? Mona and what? What was your name?
Denzel. Mona and Denzel.
Denzel. You give me that Denzel flashback when you start to say things about online and during the hurricane and all of that, All of us was online watching Met Service and watching we thing. So we really to pay attention to those things really. But thanks very much for reminding us. Lost cause when you really look at it. And your first caller said about the collective agreement with tutor. And I'm a teacher. And I think it's, really a missed opportunity that we got coming out of COVID where we did not maintain that online teaching or that hybrid method. So much went into it. Naturally went into it. We didn't even talk about investing any kind of big resources, and any big training. And here we're going back to square one.
Dominic,
right?
don't worry.
Disappointing.
Don't worry. The Ministry of Public Admin says that they're working on a work from home policy.
I don't know what octave she was speaking in, but sometimes I don't really hear what she's saying, right? And this constant dolly house we playing with the Ministry of Education and this going back and forth and we can't get the foot in properly, right? I really, really just think we're just spilling top in mud, right?
Work from home policy.
Work from home policy. How on earth the public servants going to make the Chow Challenge videos?
I'm glad you raised that. I was going to ask, what the hell is that about now?
I have no idea.
Bye, everybody.
All right.
Something to do at work.
Something to do at work. Challenge thing.
Something to do at work.
I was thinking we should do it on the show this morning.
No.
Yeah,
but
really.
We should do a drink challenge, though.
What 4 items in the bowl went there?
No, we could do plenty characters like Rudy. You could do all your Denzel, your Mikey, your Brian. You could do all your characters. You've done several. I'm sure
Ragoobarsingh.
Of course, I have papers. I went down in the rain this morning and I got papers because I said, you know what? I need to get papers. It's Friday. And Paul is going to ask me to get papers. And I'm like, no, all I have is the Guardian. So I went out in the rain and I got my papers. There they are. Okay.
Which one of the characters was that?
That was Richard.
That was Richard.
Should I begin?
Richard,
I would hope so, yes.
Okay.
Wendell, is your poll today?
He's still in snacky mood. Wendell be warned.
Yeah.
So I'll start off with the Daily Express. The Daily Express for this morning. Of course, today is July 12th, 2024. The Daily Express. Shareholders vote against government nominees to OCM board rejected. Well, I assume Daily Express would go with that headline. Rejected as the main headline. And there are pictures of Shaka and Dale, McLeod and Shaka Subaru in set photos. The other main headline, Barrel Disaster, PM's plead for help. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonzalez Center greets port officials yesterday during his visit to a vessel docked at Port Kingstown with materials and supplies from Guyana sent by President Irfan Ali. So that's the main picture. And another subheadline, Sydenham collapsed bridge on private land. So all of that is on the front page of the Express this morning. And on the back page, Windies on the brink. Batting collapses again. Defeat looming on day 3. Under 19 women miss out on final. So that's it for the front and the back of the Daily Express. Moving along to the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian this morning. What did they go with the headline? I'll tell you. SSA lawsuit. Fired workers plan legal action against state. UNC to refer Hines to Privileges Committee. That's a subheadline. And dengue worry in Grandy. The main picture is that of Sangre Regional Corporation Chairman Kenwin Phillip holds a pitchfork to show how high the stagnant water is under UNC Alderman's Susan Holder's home yesterday. So that's the main picture on the front page of The Guardian. And on the back page, Wendy's facing heavy defeat. Is that true, Wendell?
Yes, it must be them as he get legs by now.
Oh, let me put it on. Let me check. Let me check.
It was 79 for 6 overnight.
And the main picture is that of what is this? Some cycling event. Not so sure where it is. Some cycling event. On the back page, but that's on the back page of The Guardian. Moving on to the Newsday. The front page of the Newsday. Paria survivor, prosecution of 3 execs good, but divers' families forgotten. They really need to put the apostrophe by the S, but
yeah, we need to speed it up a little bit, Rich.
3 killed in 10 hours. And the main picture is that of Russell Lapity Secondary School students from left, Josiah Purnell, Esnell, Jeremiah Rodriguez, and Junior Victor Thompson, all surprised after copying first place in Republic Bank Love Until Foundation Power of One Word ceremony. And on the back page of the Newsday, sees it's pretty frustrating to look up at the scoreboard. West Indies facing heavy loss versus England, and LeBlanc bags 2 wins at short course champs. And that's it for our 3 ladies this morning.
All righty. Thank you so much, Richard. West Indies are 110 for 9. England need 1 wicket to win.
It's not
Lord.
We are making less than we made in the first innings. We made 121 or 124 in the first innings. We are about to make less. My God.
All right. Our morning poll from yesterday. Let me give you the results of that. Do you think there's any issue with the Minister of National Security seeking favorable consideration for his security detail getting firearm users license from the Commissioner of Police? That was our poll. 79%, 79 said yes. All right. Let's get into this morning's poll, folks.
Right, there it is, right away.
Slick Money Grip. Chris too says he thinks it's a distant cousin. All right, to answer your question. Right, so there's our poll. Yep.
So do you think
Trinidad, go ahead, Richard.
Do you think Trinidad and Tobago will actually implement a work from home policy before the end of 2025? That's our poll this morning.
Yep.
Do you think Trinidad and Tobago will actually implement a work from home policy before the end of 2025? You can start voting now. Of course, 222-TALK, 222-8255. North Americans, 866-525-1099. And that's absolutely toll-free. People on all our streaming platforms, you can send your votes via the messaging portals there. If you're watching us on cable television and listening to us on smart devices or the app, you can send your vote via WhatsApp at 868-318-1021. 318-1021. Let the voting begin on this Friday morning.
All right. Thank you so much. Paul Prudence says, JetBlue has not done their Fort Lauderdale route, and it has reduced. They should bring that back for sure. All right. So we have some votes already. Paul Prudence says no. John Cato says no. Keith Busessa says yes. Wayne Bennett says yes. Andrew Collier Lewis, hell no. Anthony Miguel, no. Let's see. Let's check WhatsApp here. Captain Ron out in California says yes. Thank you, Captain Ron.
They can't make some of them work when they're in the office. They're going to make them work from home.
That's what Anthony Miguel said.
Yeah.
He eased me up.
I know somebody that went into a government office just to get a piece of paper, got there at 7 o'clock in the morning. Nobody saw her till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Just saying. Julia S. Oh, hold on. Where am I? Slick Money Grip. Yes, I have a faith. Okay. Julia Espetit says no. Coming in fast and furious. Kenny out in Harlem. I say no to the poll. Marsha Thomas, no. Ronald Pierre, no. CPT Singh, no way. Showin Kerr, no.
Well, you know, PricewaterhouseCoopers getting paid no matter what, right?
Oh,
It's
yes.
10 million US, Clint, but he said there early on. 10 million US. My goodness.
All right, Black Pearl. Good morning, Black Pearl. No. Cascade St. Anne's. No. Mr. Seawing from QREP. No. Okay. Oh boy. I did show in cool. Trini Get Fit says yes. CJ New York says no. Michael Robinson in Yokohama, Japan says no. Gregory Bauer says yes. Candice says.
It's in general, Candice.
Yeah. Ish out in Malik, laugh out loud. No way. That's what he said. Clint Batiste, no. All right. Do you think Trinidad and Tobago will actually implement a work from home policy before the end of 20?
Gregory Bauer, I'm sure PricewaterhouseCoopers will come up with a plan, you know. That means it will be implemented, you know.
That's true.
Exactly. That's it. They'll come up with a plan.
You know how many people I know actually need to leave the house to go out to work? They may not actually be going out to work, but they need to leave the house to say they're going to work. Try to figure out what I just said. If you know, you know.
All right, Clint. Where's Clint? Okay, Clint says no. Candace says no. Hanif Daniel, no. Okay, Beefy Smith, big joke. No way. Okay, I'm just going what they say, huh? Oliver Man Warren, never. Okay. Thank you, Ollie. Yeah, you got 3 minutes to vote. Do you think TNT will actually implement a work from home policy before the end of next year? MS, no. Did a show in there. Oh, good morning, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen, and all those people locked on at home and abroad. I'm really interested in that poll this morning, you know, but I would say no.
All right, thank you.
Because it's
my
Wendell
poll. That's all right.
Because it's Wendell poll.
It's Wendell poll, that's why. 127 for 9. Good morning, caller.
When you two polls she like, you know.
I don't want you interested in my
Hold on, I can't hear the caller. Good morning, caller. Caller, good morning. One more time.
She go that call, man.
Not doing it. All right. Wayne Joseph says no. Kazim Ahmed says.
That's on a green donkey you're not seeing.
You might see a green donkey first.
Adri says no. Marcia Rockin Orlando says no. All right.
I find they must make these announcements. Just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Don't make an announcement.
Well, especially if you keep repeating the same announcement.
Yeah, don't make the announcement. Just you know, surprise me and do it.
It's like when they did the policy, the dressing in public places. You know, just get done. Just get done. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up a morning and you find out you could go in a public office with a vest and a slippers. Just get done.
Yep, that's all. Let's see. Andre votes, I vote no. All right, let's see. Check WhatsApp before I go to major news. Val, morning, Val. Hope you walk with that umbrella. Val says no. Evans David says no. Righty O. You got it? No and O. If you got it, you got it. You see the rhyme? Oh,
yeah. Very impressive.
I know. So easy. Let's get into our 7 o'clock major news, shall we? Evie is in.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
Opposition leader Kamala Prasad says the behavior of some top office holders is disgraceful. Parliament's Joint Select Committee on National Security to inquire into the issues at the Strategic Services Agency. Paria and LCMS officials face courts in connection with the 2022 deaths of 4 divers, and shareholders of One Caribbean Media reject government-nominated board members. Details in a moment. This is news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. I'm Avril Sentil-Bab. Good morning. Opposition leader Kamala Prasad says the behavior of some top office holders, including Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, who acted like a VIP courier, she said, is disgraceful and brings their offices into disrepute. The former Prime Minister said yesterday that the exchanges of messages between the Prime Minister, former National Security Minister Stuart Young, and current National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines, and former Police Commissioner Gary Griffith shows the hypocrisy of the Rowley government. Further, she said the opposition will bring a motion of privilege against Hines for misleading the House of Representatives when Parliament reopens in September. Last Saturday, the Express published WhatsApp messages between the Prime Minister and Griffith, as well as Young and Griffith, showing they made queries into firearm users' license and blasting license, respectively, for Tobago businessman Alan Warner. Both Dr. Rowley and Minister Young denied they asked Griffith to fast-track any licenses for Warner, but did acknowledge queries were made. Parliament's Joint Select Committee on National Security will be inquiring into the issues at the Strategic Services Agency after the 5th session of Parliament begins in September. This has been confirmed. A decision has officially been taken for the SSA matters to be examined by the JSC. However, Committee Chairman Keith Scotland was not available for queries yesterday. The SSA has been spotlighted since March, when the National Security Council received certain information from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. An audit was launched and the SSA's leadership was changed. The former director's services were terminated in May, and 28 others were also fired. On July 3rd in Parliament, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley delivered a statement on some of the audit's findings so far. 2 officials from state-owned Paria Fuel Trading Company Limited, as well as the head of Land and Marine Construction Services, Kazim Ali Sr., faced the San Fernando magistrate on July 10th, charged in connection with the 2022 deaths of 4 divers, including Ali's 36-year-old son, Kazim Ali Jr. San Fernando magistrate Alicia Chankar on July 10th held a virtual hearing at which OSHA's Inspector Brisbane laid criminal charges against Paria's General Manager Mushtaq Mohammed and Operations Manager Colin Piper, plus Land and Marine and Construction Services head Kazim Ali Sr. The charges were not read aloud owing to objections by the defendant's attorneys, but are expected to be read when the case resumes on September 11th. On February 25th, 2022, 5 divers, Budram, Kazim Ali Jr., Rishi Nagasar, Faisal Kurban, and Yusuf Henry, were repairing a 30-inch pipeline at Paria's facility at Point-a-Pier when they were sucked into it by a sudden change in water pressure called a Delta P event. Only Budram managed to get out alive. Shareholders of One Caribbean Media, parent company of the Trinidad Express newspaper, CCN TV6 and I95.5 FM, rejected the nomination of government-nominated board members at its annual general meeting on July 11th. Government-owned National Investment Fund nominated executives Dale McLeod and Shaka Suberu to be directors of the OCM board. The representative for NIF called for a poll on shareholders' consensus on the appointment. After the poll, 23,997,642 votes went against McLeod's appointment, while 23,229,443 votes were for his appointment. A total of 28,684,368 votes went against Suberu's appointment, and 23,229,443 votes went for his appointment. Other nominated members, Gregory Thompson and Grenville Phillips, were elected onto the board. Claims are coming from Princestown Member of Parliament Barry Padarath that officers from the Princestown Fire Station are threatening to abandon duties due to health hazards. MP Paria alleges that the Princestown station has been continuously under-resourced and starved for basic equipment, and the conditions in which officers are expected to operate is substandard, dilapidated, and pose a significant threat to the health and well-being of the officers. He contends the station is in dire need of upgrading since the infrastructure of the building is aged. He claims officers operate without the necessary breathing apparatus and protective gear. Paria called for the immediate intervention of the minister with line responsibility for the fire services, Minister Fitzgerald Hines, to meet and treat with the concerns of fire officers. You are listening to news on Power 102 Digital till 7 o'clock. A remote work policy for public servants is being developed. The Ministry of Public Administration is using PricewaterhouseCoopers Advisory Services Limited to help deliver on the policy. It says this move is part of a broader effort to modernize the public service, aiming to increase efficiency while maintaining productivity. The policy is expected to be completed by December 2024. PwC has held meetings with key stakeholders, including the Service Commissions Department, 28 permanent secretaries, and heads of various ministries and departments, including Tobago. PwC's consultation process has involved the Ministry of Finance, the National Productivity Council, the Environmental Management Agency, and the Ministry of Digital Transformation. On Thursday, the inaugural flight of Frontier Airlines to Trinidad and Tobago took place. Headquartered in Denver, Colorado, Frontier Airlines is an ultra-low fare carrier with a hub in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Its first flight commences services to Port of Spain from Luis Muñoz Marin International Airport. The Ministry of Trade and Industry explains this new route will provide greater connectivity and enable travelers the opportunity and more affordable entry into the U.S. to increase destinations. It says this new route to Port of Spain demonstrates the confidence that many airlines have in our airports and in destination Trinidad and Tobago. Well, finally, here's weather news for the period today until midnight. Trinidad and Tobago, cloudy and breezy conditions are expected with scattered light to moderate showers and/or periods of rain occurring in varying localities. There's also a medium chance of occasional heavy showers and/or thunderstorms. Conditions will improve by evening. Tonight will be settled with a few lingering showers. Please note gusty winds and street or flash flooding may occur near heavy showers and thunderstorms. Look out for a forecast maximum temperature of 30 degrees Celsius at Piarco International Airport and also at Crown Point in Tobago. Currently, it is 26 degrees Celsius at both localities with rainfall. Recapping your headlines to 7 o'clock, opposition leader Kamla Persad-Bissassa says the behavior of some top office holders is disgraceful. Parliament's Joint Select Committee on National Security to inquire into the issues at the Strategic Services Agency. Paria and LCMS officials face courts in connection with the 2022 deaths of 4 divers, and shareholders of One Caribbean Media reject government-nominated board members. I'm Avril Sindel-Bab. That was news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. Look out for more news in detail at 12 noon today and an update coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. For more details, log on to power102fm.com.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
Alrighty, thank you, Avril, for our major news. That's right, thank you, Evie. You can join Evie again. Come at 8 o'clock this morning for a news brief, and then at noon for major news alongside Sir Charles. Quickly, let's see what's happening. My mouse, I tell you. On the highways and on the byways at this time. Let's start down San Fernando. San Fernando itself, we got no traffic. Leaving San Fernando, Marabella to Claxton Bay. Rivulet Road is heavy. After Freeport, you'll pick up some traffic towards Sugargonas, and then Charlieville towards the interchange. You've got some there. Going to Santa Rosa, Piarco, congestion all the way up to Barataria, and that's where it's getting into some traffic. All right, that's pretty. Eastern Main Road is not bad at this time. All right, so let's say congratulations to England. They beat the West Indies cricket team at Lord's. by innings and 114 runs. The West Indies were just bowled out for 136 runs. So England winning by an innings and 114 runs. How long did that take? 3 days?
No. 2 days and 1 session.
2 days on a session. There you go. There you go. All right. Is Richie Rich back yet? Got some votes for him?
I think, Paul, the news actually say that the policy will be in place by the end of 2024, December 2024. You give them an extra year there in that poll, eh? Just thought I should point that out. When I listened to the news just now, I heard December 2024. And our poll says December. Our poll says end of 2025.
Which one is it?
Well, I mean, technically it's Paul give them an extra year, but I think it's 2024. They said it'll be in place by.
Okay. All right. Trinity B says yes to the poll. Sexy San Fernando says, of course not to the poll. Maybe by 2035.
I actually think it will work, or it could work, and it needs to work, because trust me, school closing now not making a difference in nothing. The traffic is still terrible. I don't know if there's a special, if they need to find a way to regulate traffic through St. James and Woodbrook. I don't know what they could do about it. And also, I keep pointing out, and I pointed this out at Dandy, that light on Wrightson Road by the port there. When traffic is exiting South Key, they can't go anywhere. By the time that they get a green, the traffic is so backed up on Wrightson Road by the port there that the cars can't come out of South Key to go anywhere. That's been happening a long time now. Something is wrong with the timing of those lights. It does not empty, it does not flow that traffic along Wrightson Road efficiently enough. So and that's the drive I make almost every single day that I'm coming into Port of Spain. You have to go around and kind of go on the shoulder, and the lanes are blocked up on Wrightson Road because of it. It's something needs to be done about it there. But people need to
where's Paul? David Wares also says no. Trini B says yes. Hope Richard is getting these votes.
Of course I am.
All right, good.
He's having his breakfast while he's...
All right, so let's get the results of the morning poll.
So our poll this morning, do you think Trinidad and Tobago will actually implement a work from home policy before the end of 2025? I think Paul already meant to put 2024.
Yeah, I think it's 2024.
Yeah, but I think that's how voters would have interpreted it. But in any case, the poll results, 39 people voted on the poll this morning in the allotted time. Of the 39 people voting, 32 of you said no, you do not think that the work from home policy will happen before the end of 2025. And 7 of you said yes. So 32 said no, 7 said yes. Of course, you can continue to vote on this poll throughout the day, throughout programming, and be given the final results on Monday morning, because today is Friday. The weekend begins. The weekend has begun, people.
Well, my weekend began yesterday down in 6 Company, Maruga. I went down there with Coburn to visit a family, and that bus-up shot was divine. I don't normally praise people roti when I go by them, but that roti was fun. That chana and mango and chicken and bus-up shot. Whoa, I didn't eat the pumpkin. I don't like pumpkin. But it was divine. Yeah, I don't like pumpkin. Pumpkin and callaloo is 2 things I kind of watch, really. Looking at
like
it
callaloo at all.
scares me.
If Paul is deciding to go to New Jersey,
I love callaloo.
I hate callaloo.
I like callaloo eaten as a soup. I like callaloo eaten as a soup. It doesn't have to be on rice. As a soup.
I'm feeling the wretch just thinking of someone drinking callaloo soup.
I'll have plenty of people in the stream on to cost you.
Yeah.
That's all right.
So if Paul decides to take Frontier Airlines from Porto, Spain, and I just put in JFK, his cost will be $1,963.
What, TT or US?
TT dollars.
Nah,
With
never.
a stopover in Puerto Rico, of course, for a layover of 1 hour and 41 minutes.
Never.
Mm-hmm. If you decide to use JetBlue, it's $2,893. Caribbean Airlines, a non-stop flight will cost you $6,481, Paul.
Steve, I refuse to believe that first figure you gave. That would have been US.
I'm seeing it here. No, I have it on TT dollars. I'm using Google Flights. You heard me, Paul? 1,900. You're muted. Mute. Yep. You muted, Paul.
Paul done book a maxi taxi to go where you going already.
On what carrier?
Frontier.
Well, on the wing.
Frontier.
For that price, I said on the wing.
That'll be a real price.
Hey, but at least he'll get there.
I ain't sure about that.
But they say Frontier is also charging you for your carry-on luggage.
A lot of those things doing
a lot of airlines charging.
Well, not carry-on. They're charging you for. Well, yeah, you could go. Yeah, they're charging you for checked luggage for sure. Everybody know.
Mm-hmm.
Charging you for checked luggage. And it's better you book it online, eh? Don't book it when you go and try to pay for it at the airport. Now, my God, the price doubles.
Depends on who you meet.
Well, you have one of those passports.
And how charming you are.
That won't work for you. That won't work.
Well, you have a lot of handles. Before we get to Paul, you have a lot of handles, you know. Senator,
today is the humongous wedding in India. The humongous wedding, which cost an estimated $300 million.
That's crazy.
Why is that? The richest man's son?
Yep, Ambani. Apart from the 3-day celebration they had in March, they also took family and guests on a cruise to Italy and Spain. They had the Backstreet Boys perform. Last week they had Justin Bieber perform, pocketing a $10 million paycheck.
If I had that kind of money, I would treat my family the same way. I would do family and friends the same way. If I had that kind of money, I would do it.
All she has to do is make one child.
I don't know why they didn't call me to MC.
So I need your beam over pod, Richard, to go across to India. So that wedding is on today. That's a video of it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's today. And she apart from him being the youngest son of a tycoon, she is also very wealthy. The daughter of another pharmaceutical tycoon.
Shall we open the phones?
We shall. Happy birthday, Lisa Wickham and Sheldon Narayan. I'm sure you all know both of them.
Okay, happy birthday, Lisa and Sheldon. Yeah.
They're both celebrating birthdays today. Happy birthday.
All right. Got a lot of calls streaming through. Good morning. Good morning, caller.
I hear in my voice.
Usually when you pick up a phone, you listen on the phone and not on a speaker. All right. 222-8255, toll-free North Americans and Canada, 866-525-1099. All right. Of course, in other news, Hurricane Beryl, took the lives of 33 people.
Wow.
In its wrath. 33.
It's barreling through Canada right now, not so?
Yes, it created some flooding
Mm.
in Canada.
Yeah. Tinto sent me a picture because of how misty it is out there today.
Yeah, it took 11 in Texas, 2 in Vermont, 1 in Louisiana. It took
Shall we
7
open
in
the phones?
Vincent. I did. 3 in Venezuela, 3 in Grenada, 3 in Jamaica.
You know, people who want to donate stuff to the relief efforts in Grenada and St. Vincent, and in some instances Jamaica, can do so at the neighborhood church anytime they want. They're taking clothing and canned food stuff and sanitary items.
Which neighborhood church is that?
Well, anybody, your neighborhood religious center.
Is that a, you mean it's open to all religious centers?
No, I said churches. I think the Catholic churches are accommodating for it, and they're taking it to field.
Okay.
Oh, wonderful. Good morning, caller.
Morning again, Steve, and
Morning.
Paul and Wendell. Listen.
Morning.
Last night I was looking at the news, and that this concerns the open and quote unquote prom in Tobago, the SDA school prom, and now the hairstyle. I'm going with them, siding with them with that, but the young ladies' attire, because they showed where somebody was taking out using their phone and where they were pulled now, because apparently the dinner was cancelled. And the type of outfit, now if they said that they were told what to wear, well, what not to wear, they did exactly the opposite. Some of the outfits were really, really, really revealing for these young ladies and an SDA school at that. So I kind of siding with the officials of the school concerning that type of wear, because the girl who was filming, she was saying some of them in the long slits, they get put out, everybody gets put out, but I wasn't thinking about the long slits, I was talking about the revealing clear bridges. My goodness, they were looking like big women, full women, like if they went.
I avert my eyes when I see the revealing outfit, so I wouldn't even be able to tell.
It was very for young. These students are under 18, I'm sure. And boy, oh boy, that was so revealing, And I think for a school, a church-centered school, I think the outfits weren't appropriate for that occasion. But besides that, you all read any papers last week in the Guardian, I read it, where the PTA president of the new school, that used to be Belmont Boys Secondary again. I can't remember the name now.
St. Francis.
St. Francis Boys Secondary, yeah. The PTA president was barred from making her speech, but talk because of
what she wore.
What she was wearing, but she threw something over, like a little cardigan, probably over the top. But to me, I didn't see anything wrong with the top, but I saw things wrong with it going down.
All right. He's African woman with shape.
Yeah, but needless to say, because the outfit was a romper type thing, and you know how those things fit with people with that type of shape. So, the principal or the acting principal, the barred her from speaking, and she said some of the teachers walked out as well. So, these things, I don't know, Anyway, have a good day, y'all.
Miss Babini, it wasn't St. Francis, apparently. It was Belmont Secondary School.
All right. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
We have established that we have a snail problem in Trinidad and Tobago, and I think the government needs to do.
Which ministry is that?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Agriculture, Lincoln, come on.
No, talking about as being snacky, being slow.
No. Well, I thought you were talking about what I was going to talk about. They have something in place.
Is it national security responsible for snails?
No, agriculture.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lincoln. I have a lot of calls.
They have something in place to provide snail bait for people who are having infections, if that is the right word, infestations. However, for the last 6, maybe 8 months, when you go there, they don't have any snail bait any snail bait. Right, so one has to buy snail bait if we're having issues, and snail bait is not cheap. So I would like to use your platform to get the authority to remind the authorities to provide the snail bait before the infestation gets worse. Right, and it's already at a bad place. I saw a video on social media with some men collecting the African snails and then making it into something, a meal to eat, a delicacy. Do anyone of you all know if that is safe and if it's a real video?
In Trinidad and Tobago?
In Trinidad and Tobago, yes, I saw that video on Facebook.
I don't know that is safe at all.
I doubt it.
I don't think it's safe, no.
That wouldn't be the African snails they're doing that with.
Well, that's what they said. I don't know if it's one.
Snails are highly poisonous. Even handling them with your hand can get you infected.
This is what I know. So I would like. This is something that if people are doing, they need to cease and desist, because we could end up in the next pandemic if people are doing this kind of foolishness and really making delicacies with African snails.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
African snails are generally where in Western Trinidad or something.
They're all over now, Richard.
They're all over now.
I haven't seen them in Arima.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen that by me in Arima, but
no, I haven't seen them in Arima. I don't hear Arimans
have them.
I don't hear Arimians complaining. I don't hear Arimans complaining about it at all.
You might be right about that. Because I haven't seen any in Arima either.
Good morning.
I've seen quite a lot in St.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, good morning to the breakfast crew.
Morning.
Good morning.
And to everybody locked on.
Yeah.
Do any of you guys remember there used to be an animated series called Thunderbird?
Yep.
Called what?
Right.
Thunderbirds.
Thunderbird.
Thunderbirds are go.
I remember.
My father told me about it.
Well, all right. So when I saw that clip of Joe Biden this morning, his lips movement identical to those people at cartoon thing, man.
He kind of walks like them too, huh?
Yeah, it seems animated.
Are you all hating on Joe
Anyways,
Biden?
yeah, we experiencing a rather foggy day here, Wendell. I don't know what's going on in Toronto, but it's
I hope it doesn't affect your garlic crop and your ginseng crop. Hey guys, I have a package each something to for you all.
Oh, that you left about 2 months ago?
So, Anthony, tell me something.
Just last week.
How would you rate Wendell being a guest? Was he tidy?
Oh, Wendell is awesome, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a bulletin for him, We tie right now. So I had to practice for this guy.
Yeah, good. Go practice.
All right, Tinto. Thank you so much. All the best.
I'll have a great weekend, guys, as well.
You too. Take care. Good morning. Morning.
Two issues quickly. Earlier, when you all were discussing the OCM matter, Richard mentioned the fact that he thinks the state should divest the shares in OCM. I want to endorse that too. I am not particularly favorable for the state to be involved in business activity, except in certain strategic areas like energy and that kind of thing. Water maybe, but clearly, I also want to agree with Paul that I don't think two people could really influence the editorial board. But the easiest way to deal with it is just to divest the shares. They might lose some money because the share value kind of low, but that would eliminate that problem. The other thing is, in respect to the work policy and the public service, you work from home, I don't think that would be difficult to implement, but I don't think that they would do it in any substantial way leading to the end of the year. Once they identify the particular positions where the people could operate from home and identify objectives and timelines, they could take certain a minority of the staff, and particularly in some middle management areas, and offer them that opportunity. So I think it would start before the end of the year, but in a very small manner. Have a good day, gentlemen.
All right. Thank you, buddy. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Richard.
Yeah.
Blackbird Lane in La Hoqueta. I have a property that I manage in Blackbird Lane in La Hoqueta. that property is always infested with millions of snails. I pick up pigtail buckets of snails there already, right?
Well, but that's the Piarco Regional Corporation, that's Wendell.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be turned up in a PR.
Paul, your question there is something that a friend of mine and I, a police friend of mine, and I, Paul, yesterday.
Yep, you have police friends?
Yeah,
yes,
plenty
Paul, I still said that deliberately, yes. She called me yesterday, furious. She said, and this is what she said, when she bought her car in 2021, in the middle of the pandemic, it was so easy. She didn't have to go in the bank. She went into the bank twice, once to sign and once to collect the check for the car. She got into an accident a couple of weeks ago and is now in the process of purchasing a new car, another car. And she is telling me how everything has reverted back to before 2020, before the pandemic, where she had to physically go into the bank and carry job letter, pay slip, and all the documents they require. She said, better we go back to the pandemic because now it goes back now to being difficult and you have to physically go back to going to the bank and going to do what we have to do. So like we learn a way to do it better, but then we revert back to, after the pandemic, we revert back to making things complicated and physical. So I don't think that work from home is going to, if everybody else continues with that work from home thing ain't going to happen.
All right. You know what? I think it has to happen in tandem with the state's push into digital transformation. The whole purpose of digital transformation, because there's so many private companies that people work from home now. Sometimes when you call companies, you know the person is at home.
Yeah.
Even though they're interfacing with you. And so
you hear the dog barking and you hear the children in the back and you realize you're working from home.
So I don't understand what the problem is with the banking sector. Well, first of all, I can't even get past Republic Bank old ATMs. That alone is an indication to me. Any ATM that you have to struggle in a tug of war to go in and come out. I don't understand what's going on in the banking sector in terms of upgrading their technology. Yes, I'm looking at you, Republic Bank. But
it's crucial to be able to identify our money. You have to, if you go there with $5,000 to deposit, you sure you're standing up there for half an hour. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right.
Because you pay $5,000, put it back out, you have to pay it back in, and you split it back out 2, you pay it back in, you split back out 1, and you have to go over that process for
yeah, but all those machines, even those machines abroad do that too, Lincoln. If they detect any flaw on a note, it spits it back out, eh?
Yeah. Thank you, caller.
FCB doesn't do that at all. FCB checks your money one time and one transaction.
First Citizens.
I don't get any problems with
Thanks, caller.
any of the ATMs.
Yeah, First Citizen, no, Republic Bank is archaic in terms of the ATMs.
Yes,
but
card movement, Paul.
Yeah.
The card takes forever.
Yeah, it's to come back out.
But you remember I told you about the issue where the lady lost her money by internet banking, $120,000. They actually told a daughter that she would not get back the full amount. They put the money in the account. Guess how much money they put back? Make a wild guess. It's 120 that was taken.
119?
$60,000.
No, but she needs to go to the banking ombudsman.
That was done.
Yeah, and they're supposed to resolve that.
Yeah, that was done.
Banking regulations and all sorts of regulations that govern those kinds of issues, you know.
Yeah.
So they need to check that in. They shouldn't just accept that.
Yeah, I told them get advice. Well, they did the ombudsman. I told them get advice from my lawyer.
Banking ombudsman could look
that
at
is absolutely ridiculous. $60,000 they take. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you guys today?
Not bad at all. How are you? It's Friday.
I'm fine. It's Friday and I'm working from home today.
You mean you're working from home? You're not working. You're working from home.
Yes. I was actually on it. I'm very lucky. So I work in the medical field and I have been working from home for years now, more so since COVID. And we are nurses and we triage and telehealth and everything from home. But it is very helpful, Wendell. I understand what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. the thing will be management of the people working from home. Because it will be, will we get, what's the word I'm looking for? Productivity out of them, and in the medical field, we do a lot. Our patients love it, but then we do have a lot of patient chat online, like we talk to our patients online. They have apps, patient portals that we speak to them online and so forth. So the technology has to upgrade in Trinidad. And yes, some private businesses are doing it. I just think the government sector has to upgrade. In regards to school, I remember when my son, now he's in college now. However, when he was in school during COVID, working school from home helped, because when we had inclement weather, even after COVID, instead of them being home, they love being online and still get that day of schoolwork. So I wish it could happen in Trinidad, because it's cheaper for the corporation. So our hospital, we downsized a lot of our real estate. We didn't have it because it didn't make sense. We were having 10 people in a big building, and we were able to use the money and open, another section of our hospital to service more of our patients. Mm-hmm. So, or we were even able to pay people more. Because now we are not paying all that money in rent or lease or anything like that. And then the stress of not going in Atlanta traffic is the worst here. So that's being able to work from home, and not have to deal with traffic, less gas. You kind of have some type of a life, a little better life given the economy. Yeah. And if you go on Frontier, it's like a roller coaster ride. I hope all it. I'm glad to see Frontier coming to Trinidad, but I would not be taking Frontier. I will continue going to Fort Lauderdale and take Caribbean Airlines or American Airlines.
What do you mean it's like a roller coaster? Is this Candace?
Yes.
What do you mean it's like a roller coaster ride?
So when you sit down in Frontier, so we took it one time to go to Disney. And look, it was cheap. I was like, let's try it. And we started super uncomfortable first to begin. And then when it started, when you're in a roller coaster, you get I'm just being honest with you. It's like you're starting up in a roller coaster ride, and if the weather is not good, it's a lot of turbulence. And so I hope it changed. But over here, I know they have very bad ratings. It's always running late. It's delays. I will take the Southwest before I'll take Frontline and Spirit. I hope they do better. I just hope. It's very cheap, but when you add up the price for you have to do check bags. They're very, very strict with the check bags, and very strict with their carry-on bags. So it has to be a particular time. And hope their customer service will be better. It's a lot with Frontier. I'm hoping for the best. I'm always hoping for the best.
All right. Thanks, Candice.
I'm a Caribbean Airlines, American Airlines, and sometimes United Airlines person. I don't venture. I've done JetBlue once. It wasn't bad, but it's not an airline. It's not the first person I'll go to. I always go to Caribbean Airlines first, actually. I go anywhere I could use my miles, which is Caribbean Airlines and American Airlines.
Pick Vice President Trump to be vice president, that I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there. I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, that I think she was not qualified to be president. So courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. He's going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky.
That is a big problem right there, America.
Yeah. Good morning, caller.
That's a big problem.
Morning again. I was
Oh, it sounded like you hung up.
Yeah, I just cut off.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Lots of calls.
Yeah, I see people jumping along on them children clothes and outfits and things. It's not the children, it's the parents. When are you letting your daughter go there with that?
Well,
when are you not letting
if children are brave enough to wear clothes like that, it means that they get away with a lot in their home. You understand? That's all I could see. That's all I could see. You know?
That is a parenting thing. So I not looking. Them ladies that was 18 years already. You know? Them finished school 17, 18 years. Them is big woman. Them call themselves big woman. But it's a parenting thing. So in the end of the day, the parents deal with the children. Papa, no, why are you call the talk about? School books, boy. What is the price of school book?
Mr.
They're
Patrick,
always
what you doing
expensive.
around school books still?
What do you mean? So you don't have friends and what you gonna?
Mr. Patrick, don't start me up, please.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Because
Mr.
that whole
Patrick.
issue of school books, I remember there are about at least 2 ministers of education prior to Dr. Gatsby Dolly that I would have spoken to about the issue of why don't we move the situation of virtual books that you can just send to people so that you don't have to buy books. That the state has a cadre of books that they send to your tablet or send to your laptop, and that's it. So you're just going to school with your laptop or your tablet.
I read
How difficult is that?
Have a book grant over $1,000. A book grant over $1,000. But you have to have a meals test. You must be working on that $10,000. Right? But who could apply for that and how they apply for it? You see no more details than that. You got to go to the school, to the principal, or whatever. But school books, anything for school is expensive right now. A pen is $20. And you using
the whole issue of school books every September, whether it be in secondary or primary school, fuels an industry in terms of that purchasing of school books. I don't hear Americans. There are plenty of Americans listening to us now. You always have to study school books and a book list when the book come out, and parents getting tens. Oh God, how much you have to set aside money for the book list?
So I'm making a current call to the Minister of Education. Let's do something with them school books now. And the $1,000 grant. I think that enough now. All right.
Move away from that and make it digital.
Yeah. Good morning.
Come in that direction instead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, morning, caller.
All right. Good morning again, gentlemen.
Hold on. Paul, phone.
I hope Paul like hallelujah.
I do, depending.
Oh, I would believe so. I found it strange this morning not to hear that Steve and Wendell don't like hallelujah. I thought that was a part of one of our main dishes here.
I hate it.
Not for me.
I don't like it lumpy. I like it smooth, like a soup.
Oh, you're right. Well, that's how it has to be made. Not too soupy. Soup is soup and callaloo is callaloo. You have to know how many okras to put to get that how you want it.
I hate okra as well.
I'm pretty good at slurping, but just not slurping callaloo. Sorry.
Nah, you all you're missing one of the main food for men. Up and told you. Well, then you love food in Ghana.
Why is it for men?
I love Ghanaian food.
Why is it food for men?
The call I'm talking to Wendell now it's mischievous.
Why is it food for men? The okras and the gelatinous substance.
Yes.
From what I remember, you don't need no additional gelatinous substance.
This is a very productive conversation.
Quite.
You see, Paul is lead me down a rabbit hole. A call with a call to make.
No, you just be down the rabbit hole already, and Paul has come down and meet you. Paul has come down and meet you in the rabbit hole. You down there already.
You mean she is the rabbit hole?
Let me go on to another topic here, man. You see, for the first time, I am very sorry for feeling it for Americans. What is wrong with them? What is really going on with the greatest and baddest country here to say the world? Oh, come on. We're all
You have two wonderful choices there.
Over.
Two
Pardon
wonderful
me?
choices.
Oh, we have two wonderful choices here.
Just in a bad way. They in a bad way. Anyhow, gentlemen, you have
And we have good one.
Yeah.
Thanks, Zena.
Right. Thanks, Zena.
Going back, have a good weekend, Zena. Going back to the conversation, it's interesting that people mention the school books thing. Just yesterday, Avril and I were having a discussion in the newsroom that even if we don't go Richard's route about online, which I agree with to some extent, because some students, because of their disabilities, may not be able to do the online thing as easily. But even if we don't go that route fully or use a hybrid system, my contention is the parents are asked to buy these books every year. And very often, even if you have children in steps, this is one scenario. The books change and they add 3 lines and 3 pages, and you can't even pass down the book that you
Which
paid
is where the corruption is.
In addition to which, if the state buys the books and puts the books in the classroom, and the instruction is that if the book is kept in a good condition, it can be passed down to the students coming in.
But that was done already, not so?
They don't do that. Let me tell you something. You know what? You know who benefits from all this as it is?
Yeah.
The bookstore publishers. And years ago, it literally, systems were changed to mafiaize it.
Yes.
Let me tell you something.
No restriction at all.
I was just talking about that whole book list on Americans. So my sister sent me a message. She said, no, there is no book list, just school supplies. Every student has a Chromebook given by the school.
Right. And even if you can't go that route, it still will be cheaper to buy the books and they pass it down.
No, but we have to go that route eventually, Paul.
I'm not saying no. We're not disagreeing on that. We're not disagreeing on that.
And to me, this is a perfect example of how a country can make life easier for citizens. And why so many times I say they're anti-citizen policies. Because you have thousands of parents across the country
and Richard
spending backwards about how much money do I need to get
money.
To
because once the IP and the intellectual property issues are sorted out, because that's an issue with the publishers, the digital online publishers, and that's doable because it's been done in other jurisdictions. There's no reason to stop it, but even without that being done fully, there is an issue. I just don't understand what happens to all these old books. Thousands and hundreds of thousands of old books doing nothing.
It was a monstrosity.
It's wasteful.
I think people enjoy seeing students toting bags behind them that can't even fit into the baggage for a plane. The hand luggage for a plane. They like to see them pulling those little suitcases, some of them packed with a set of books. It's ridiculous. And shame on the administrators.
We'll be talking about this 15 years from now. Well, you all be talking about it. I won't be talking about it.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Morning.
I'm listening in on the Katie here. Sorry. I was listening in on the conversation of the book list and the book stuff. Now, I will give you from a personal experience, and Richard will probably be able to know what I'm speaking about. I had organized for a particular school when the Form 1s and stuff came in, that we were having some booksellers come and do a package deal where you could have gotten nearly all of your books at one price, at a much reduced price of, I think, about $400 or $500 off the total price that would have been to do for the school. And when we organized it, right, we were told that no, we can't do it again. This is the PTA, right? Because instructions came down from a particular publisher or bookseller that if we do that, or if any other bookseller participates in it, that they would be removed from the distribution list of that particular publisher, right? So, Paul, I hear you.
Let me ask one question. Can I ask a question? When did that happen?
That happened last year.
So it's still happening.
Last year. So it is still happening.
Because there is this, I use the word conspiracy or collusion.
Mafia.
To ensure that this book list paradigm continues to keep making people millions and millions of dollars, poor people are just struggling. Let me tell you something. You see this July, August.
And here's the justification. And here's the justification we got. The publisher said that they want to drive traffic to the booksellers' stores because when people come in the booksellers' stores, they would purchase more items as well too. So that was
to make millions of dollars for a few publishers in the country.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Somebody needs to look into this. Somebody really needs to. Somebody with the authority needs to look at it because it is ridiculous. When you can have a $400, $500 savings on an overall book list, and you're saying no,
you know what? I'll bring it up again.
Yeah,
I'll bring it up.
Anyway, I'm up.
Yeah. Parents does not have to be struggling and going through all manner of stress with their children's education because of a book list. You know how much parents are horrified to get a book list?
No, this is one of the most frightening times for some parents, for many parents. And you can't get this book here, so you have to run down there. You can't get this book, so you have to run down there.
Come on, in 2024,
ridiculous.
Do better.
Yeah, a lot of families that cannot afford these books.
They struggle.
Because they have to get books, they have to get shoes, they have to get uniforms, they have to get bags.
I waiting to see when that mafia break. The same way the mafia with renting buildings. Somebody talk about work from home, reduce the amount of rent on building. I want to see that mafia break. Are you mad or what?
Ain't happening. We'll talk.
Are you mad?
Good morning, caller.
Which Trinidad and Tobago not going to happen?
Lisa's being terminated because people don't get wrong.
Yes, morning.
Morning. Yes. I don't understand why every term a parent you will have 2 children going to school, and every term you have to, right now, I am watching my grandson's book list, and he is going into 2nd standard. And imagine a 2nd standard child, maths textbook is costing $120. I remember when my first son was going to St. Mary's College, one of his books cost $100, and I say, wow. And now in 2024, a primary school child going into 2nd standard maths book is costing $120. When his brother goes into 2nd standard, I am sure he will not be able to use that book because they're going to change it. And they have
Paula, can I ask you something?
Yes, sir.
Did you use all the books you bought?
No, there is a book there. It's brand new. They sell it because they're changing it. That is the next problem.
It is a mafia.
Yes. Why is that happening to parents? Imagine that. You cannot use. I remember when I was going primary school. You'll remember, not primary. Remember there was a book, Mastering in Modern English, and then the maths book by Macmillan. My sister used it, my brother used it, and I came and used it. Why the hell? We can't go back to that. Every term, you're changing the book. You're making parents buy book and they're even using it. Man, listen, man, this thing is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
It is designed to make a lot of money for a few people.
Yeah, I remember St. Mary's College having a book fair, and you could go there and you will get the students who gone up in Form 2, the ones who now come in Form 1, you could purchase the book from them.
You can't use that book again.
That's gone through.
Yeah, they say you can't use that book again.
So book grants and things waste of time, and the Ministry of Education needs to get a hold of that. Why are they keep changing the book and talking about new edition and a set of rubbish? Give me a break. And you know, I listened to some of the callers who were agreeing with the school with those 2 young men hairstyle. And my point on that is,
if they were going to school with their hair like that for the term, how come all you suddenly want to tell them they
I
can't
don't think
come
that's the case, though.
to
I
the
don't think that's the
hairstyle?
case.
And the girls, I saw a video last night on TV where the young girls, oh gosh, well, that one, because what they said, they gave out some consent form to the parents for them to sign, and they say no this, no that, no cleavage showing. And brother, it wasn't cleavage showing, it was breast showing. I can't understand how
The dress was badly made.
How the parents could have signed that form and still go and buy a dress with cleavage showing off the shoulder, slit high, like if you're going to a wedding in Hyatt. No, them ain't gonna win that. But you see the two boys, the parents, they say they're going and file a lawsuit, and I want to believe they could win it. Because if I was going to school like that during the term,
but I am not sure they will, ma'am.
graduation day can't come so. Rubbish. The Adventist church, they better check themselves. They focusing only on who are wearing earring and thing, and they're focusing on why some of the young girls in the church getting pregnant, they fornicating and all, and studying earring. Who are wearing earring.
Where you going?
Leave the church.
Well, get real. Get real, and don't let me go by the pastors.
All right.
Go on, because you might get in trouble or you might get a letter.
Leave the church alone. Hands off the church.
You stop fornicating.
Hands off the church.
Good morning. Good morning, caller.
Listen to us on the phone.
Good morning. Good morning, Wendell, gentlemen. Wendell, I want to address an issue that you just mentioned there that strike a nerve with me because I've been watching it and it's been irking me every day that I pass that our taxpayers' dollars is being squandered that way. Here in Chaguanas, we had a health center on the main road in Chaguanas. They moved the health center to Ramsaran Street. You know, first let me start from the beginning. They are renting up a building to have a health center on the main road in Chaguanas. The health center moved to Ramsaran Street, but they're still renting the building on the main road in Chaguanas. So they're renting another building on Ramsaran Street, and they have two health centers now. One for something, one for the other thing. They're also renting another building on another street for the administrative part. So one health center facility is renting 3 buildings in Chaguanas. So 3 men are earning at least $400,000 a month. Or we don't know if it's the same man on the 3 buildings.
I'm going to say, it's not the same person on the buildings.
Exactly. But the whole point about it is the state is paying people money. And while I say that, there's a parcel of land allocated to build a health center since Jaconas of the partnership time in Chaguanas. But we still insist on renting 3 buildings to run a health center in Chaguanas. Something wrong with how we manage it our first this country.
That is another topic.
Doesn't Chaguanas also have a library that they were building and they stopped and it's now something else?
It is, yes, Richard. We're not managing our money properly, and when we end up like Haiti, we go under everybody trouble.
Lincoln.
And when we end up like Haiti, everybody go under why? How could we be so?
Lincoln, you define managing our money properly.
Define it.
Or you think the management of the money is always supposed to be in the interest of the people? Okay.
Well, you know what?
Dream on, dream away.
Dream away. And I'm big on libraries because libraries.
Thank you, Lincoln.
Libraries gave me so much comfort as a child, and I know La Hoqueta is getting a beautiful, huge, big library. But I want to ask Nalice. How the hell they go Martin, which is a now come borrow, you now come they go, take it down. La Hoqueta.
You have no problem.
La Hoqueta getting a brand new library. La Hoqueta getting a brand new library, but But Arima is a dinky little library upstairs of a building. And the only reason I'm passionate about it is because the library in Arima was always something that was a refuge for me.
Because our mayor is Joe Biden. Have a great weekend.
So, you know,
I
understand that. So now let's do better for Arima with regard to our library in Arima, please.
Have a great
Take
weekend.
that back, Paul.
Paul, you're bad, you know.
Richard, I didn't know you are the president of America as a mayor.
And I like President Joe Biden. I understand the issues, and I understand that people may want him to step aside. But you know, I do feel it for him.
Yeah, no, it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah, I do feel it
It's
for him.
sad. It is sad. Folks, have a wonderful weekend.
Imagine if Putin activate and he had to press that button and take 5 minutes to press it. Okay.
Boy, well, no, he might press it
which button is it?
He might press it
Is
without
it the red button or the yellow button or the green button? Which one?
The danger is not how long he takes to press that button, is that he might press it before anything even need to start.
No, that would be Putin. or maybe it's Zelensky, or maybe it's Putin, or anyway, have a good weekend.
Have a good one, guys.
He came back into comments.
Yeah.
On this
have a good one, guys.
Sunday at 6:30 p.m. at Napa. It is the final show of Love is a Walk. And I know tickets are zooming, so get your tickets early. The Napa box office opens from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Tickets available at all our usual outlets. Check RSRR Productions Theater on Facebook and Instagram to get more information. You should not miss it. We expect
all right. Thank you, Rich.
This weekend. Love is a Walk. Have a great weekend.
Have a wonderful weekend.
Your news bulletin from Power One.